Hi everyone, it's Lou Collins for CraftStash. Today I'd like to share with you part 2 in a series all about shaped cards. We have a fantastic range of products from Creative Craft Products that features shaped cards of all different styles, and I'm going to be showing how to do something different with them. So in video 1 we saw the birthday cake, and that was made into an easel card. This is not how the dies are originally created, so I'm showing you a different way of using them. And in this tutorial you're going to see how to use the flowers dies and create this fabulous double gatefold really easily with everything in the pack. Now, of course, all the products that I'm using, including all the rest of the Get in Shape collection from Creative Craft Products, is linked down below for you. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like the video, and we will get on with the tutorial straight away. So how the flower pot works is that this one is a complete shape, and you die cut this out and decorate it with all of the other bits, and then you have a fun stand that you can attach to the back of the card. So it's not actually a card that opens, but we can make it into one of those. So I've got 2 pieces of A4 cardstock. This isn't a very thick cardstock, it's around about 220 GSM. It's folded in half, and for each one I'm going to die cut through both layers at the same time, but I'm going to just overlap the very edge here. I'm not worried about the top here as well, that is overlapping, but I'm not worried whether it is or not. I'm just going to overlap. I might just put this towards the bottom, and just so that I can see the edge of the flower pot there. Yes, I think you just see the little gap, so just pop that up against it so that this edge is not cutting through. I'm going to use my Creative Craft Products low tack tape to hold this in just the right place, and then run it through my die cutting machine. I'm going to, as I run it through, I'm going to take it through probably twice, forwards and backwards, because I'm going through 2 layers. Before you remove your die with the tape, just ensure that that has cut through, because sometimes it will look as if it's cut and it hasn't quite gone through, but that looks like it's absolutely fine. So I'm happy to remove this tape and the die now, and I'm going to remove it carefully because I'm going to reuse it. So I've got my first side of my card base there all cut with the score line. Now I'm going to do the same on the other piece, but this time I'm going to flip my card over so that the score line is on the right hand side, and this time my die is going to overlap on this side. So again, I'm just going to make sure there's a tiniest little gap between the two on this side, tape it down again, and run that through a couple of times. So now with our 2 card bases, we can open these up, and we should be able to place one over the top of the other so that we've got a double centerpiece or back piece and 2 single front pieces. Now it's a good idea with this, whichever one is on top of the other, is to just snip away a little bit on the edge here, just so that you've got room for the fold to do its thing, because otherwise you don't want things catching if they're a little bit close. So I'm going to adhere this one over the top of the other one just with a wet glue. Again, as with the previous card we did in this series, I'm not gluing all the way to the edge because you do get a certain amount of glue seeping out towards the edges when you press it together. So now you've got your 3 panels. The middle one is going to be your back panel. The 2 side ones are going to be the front. Now to make this into a gatefold, you can simply cut these 2 directly in half. Really nice and simple. I would suggest cutting one of them in half, trimming one of them, and then folding that over the second and drawing a pencil line just to make sure that the 2 meet in the middle when you close them up. But I'm going to make things a little bit different. This is going to give me lots more decoration space as well, and I'm going to make this into a double gatefold. This means that I'm not going to be cutting the front pages or the front wings. I'm actually going to be folding them back. I'm going to measure where the width of one of the panels, and it's actually 5.5 inches. So, and your scoreboard may measure in centimetres, so just check that. So I'm going to bring this to 2 3/4. That is halfway between 5.5, and I'm going to score down here. I'm then going to flip this over, and I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side. So just double check 5.5 there. I'm using this straight edge to butt up against because I've got no other straight edges there. And then I'm going to place this at 2 3/4 and score down there again. Now your flower pots should fold back in half. I'm just missing the top corner there. There we go. And the same on this side as well. And you should still have your complete flower pot shape, but lots more flowers in the top. So now for the decoration, and this is going to be, there's going to be a lot of decoration, a lot of layers to cut. I'm going to use this main outer die to recut some brown cardstock along with this scalloped edge piece as well, so I can colour the front of the flower pot, the inside of the flower pot, the sides, everywhere is going to get the same treatment with the same colour. This is going to be a brown or terracotta colour cardstock. I'm then going to die cut lots and lots of the florals and leaves. These are going to then be placed at the front and at the back again, everywhere I can to fill this. So it's a huge flower pot with lots of dimension. Because there's a lot of die cutting here, to speed things up, I am going to attempt to die cut through 2 layers at a time with each one of my shapes. So after quite a lot of die cutting, I think I've got all the pieces I need now to decorate our flower pots. So I'm going to be placing the panels of brown directly over the white pieces. I could have cut this originally from brown cardstock, didn't think about it, but to be honest, this is actually going to strengthen the card anyway. Don't forget in the middle just to trim off the very edges of your pots, just at either end here, and that's just going to help with the closing fold there. I like to put the crease into the centre of each of the side panels first. This way I've just already got my fold there and I'm not bending the cardstock once it's already glued on. So there's my flower pot covered in the brown cardstock. Now I've got the scallop pieces. Now these don't need to go everywhere. I'm just going to cut one of these in half and put it on the front panel, and I'm going to put one in the middle as well. And now for the decoration. This is going to take a little while again, but it's going to be very much worth it. So I'm going to be gluing down first of all the largest of the flowers, because these kind of have spaces on the card, so you want to make sure that they are covered up. Then I'm just going to fill a couple more spaces with some of the other smaller flowers and some of the smaller leaves. So now I've stuck all my flowers on the inside. I've got my gatefold that's just like so, to a beautiful flower pot. Again, it folds flat enough to go into an envelope. I've still got the back completely white, so I can put a message on there. And I'm just going to put the die cut message on the inside that comes here. So you've got either in the pack, flowers for you, or you've got feel better soon. So if you enjoyed finding out how to create this fun double gatefold from the shaped card dies from Creative Craft Products, we have 2 more shaped cards that you can be creating, and these are really different. So in the first video that you can go back and watch now, we've got the easel card from the shaped cards, and there's going to be another video showing you how to create a trifold card as well. So make sure you check those out on our YouTube channel, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any other video uploads. Everything I've used you'll find down linked below.